Hey, look, man, you got to put something in the cornflakes, all right?
Hey everybody, welcome to Why Did Ask For Chapter 13, the Post Extra Life Stream Edition.
Yay!
Yes.
We did it. We made it out alive.
We're all almost dead.
Some of us are missing body hair and dignity.
I still have all of it.
But it was for the
Yes.
kids, so, it was a good time. So this week on the podcast, of course, my name is Dan. We have with me Pat.
The one and only.
We have Amber.
Hi.
And Shua.
I'm alive.
He made it.
I made it.
He was touch and go there for a little bit, but he
Oh,
made it.
yeah.
Oh, my God. I think of everyone, and this is saying something because I was really worried about Amber. I was so worried about Shua. I was like, I honestly thought, Shua, you knew that me and Dan weren't really taking shots. It was all just a game. Like, we were drinking water, actually.
Oh,
you were the
man,
only
I-
one taking real shots.
I was doing it for the kids. Like, I wanted them to know I'm getting drunk for you. Because,
Why Did Ask For definitely almost lost 2 of our employees this weekend.
yeah.
One to natural causes and one to self-induced natural causes.
There was a moment there where Sober Me was inside saying, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. And Drunk was like, it's for the kids! And he kept on
Drunk
going.
Shua was just like, shut the fuck up.
We're doing a good deed here! And that's what happened.
That's essentially how the rest of the night went. And it was just this horrifying imagery in my head that after Shua signed off, he was like going to pass out on the floor and no one was going to
Yeah.
be there to help him.
No,
And I'm
I drank
oh,
like
shoot.
4 liters of water after, so I
Oh,
so I
good for
wouldn't be hungover.
Good move. Good move.
This weekend, I found out that Shua is Lebanese.
Yeah, I'm part
Yeah.
Lebanese. I'm a part a lot.
And I figured that out because Shua could not keep his clothes on during
Well,
that stream.
people are paying to take my clothes off, like a stripper.
That's true.
But I
was
mean,
weird.
if that was for the kids to get the money they needed, it needed to be done.
Are you saying the Lebanese are akin to taking off their clothes all the time?
No, they're akin to being hairy, dark and hairy. And if you saw when I took
Two good
my
people.
shirt off,
That's what he is.
yeah,
Very true. Very true. So, all in all, good stream. It was awesome. We reached, actually, we exceeded our goal.
we exceeded by a lot. It was great.
What was the final number?
was
616?
617
Yeah.
out of
$617.
which I think was 123% of our original goal.
We beat Aaron Zek, which is pretty big. I
We
found.
Yeah,
We're
we
not
did.
naming names of who that we beat.
Because we're all on the same team.
When we ended our stream at about, I don't know, 12:30 Eastern, after all speeches were done and all that, we were on the first page. I believe we were the 21st
I think we're
on Team Rooster Team.
We're still there.
Rooster
I
Team.
think. Either that or we're only down by a couple.
That's
We're
right.
up
I said
there.
Team
We're
Rooster
definitely
Team.
up there.
Yeah. We're definitely not on the
But
bottom
it was
of the
awesome. It was
page.
very successful. Huge shout out to all the donators. Specifically, big shout out to Dark, who
Oh, yes.
took us from basically a standstill where we weren't really getting any donations,
No.
and took us right up to our
I
goal.
was doing everything. Taking my shirt off, taking my pants off. It was hard.
breakdancing.
Breakdancing. That hurt my back. I think that was the hardest injury. Not drinking. My back hurt the next day. And I figured out
I'm sure it did. Yeah.
because I was doing wicked flips.
I think
Is
you
that what you wanna call
legitimately...
that?
Yeah, I'm gonna call it wicked flips on the floor.
That's not what happened.
I think you legitimately almost gave Harry a heart attack when you attempted to do a cartwheel. Because the entire time that you were about to do it, he's like, no, shoot, don't do it.
It wasn't an attempt. Shua did a very complete cartwell. He
Oh,
did
I'm not-
several.
I
It
did
was amazing.
several. I'm not that lazy. I can do one.
No, I mean, like, I have never been able to do a cartwheel in my life. Ever.
Really? Well,
Yeah, it's hard.
I guess when you're that close to the ground, it's.
Wow.
Sorry,
say
I
it's
had to
easier
do it. I
when
had
you're
to do it.
short.
You left yourself open there.
No, I didn't. That had nothing to do with that.
So, I mean, I don't know if you guys want to talk more about stream or if you want to move on to other things, but
We can
I
talk
think
a
it's
little
worth
bit more.
mentioning. I think it's worth mentioning that I believe at the end of Rooster Teeth's segment, their 24-hour stream, so Sunday morning, I believe Extra Life was up to 6.5 million on the year.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
And that, of course, goes to Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. So children's hospitals all over the United States and all over the world.
Yes.
So it was an awesome thing that we did. I'm so happy we did it. I'm glad we made our goals, and I'm exceptionally proud of everybody that participated and supported us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was thinking, if you guys didn't mind, I would run through a couple of the names of the donators that we had.
Just
Sure.
do all of them.
Like,
Let's-
okay, so we had Harry.
We had like 27, right?
I'm looking at the
We
list.
had
Some of them are anonymous.
28 separate donations, but a lot of them were repeat donations.
Yeah. So
Yes.
Okay.
I'll try to name them without naming repeats.
Sure.
We
There we
have Harry in there.
Woo.
We
Mr.
have
Harry Hyde.
Justin Maniel Ross, Mr.
Woo.
Adam Amir.
Yay.
We had Shelley, of course. We had
Yay.
Mr. Jeff.
Yay.
Yeah.
We had Ian.
Yay.
We had Blondes, which, by the way, I want to talk about her in a little bit.
Yay.
Also known as Nika. We had
I
Dr.
didn't know
Drew.
that. That's new to me.
Yay.
Yay.
Of course, Dr. Drew would have to be a part of this.
He did make me take my shirt off.
Some
Like a
guy
wildebeest.
named Shua donated as well.
I wonder which idiot donated to ours. Man.
Yay.
That was, I believe, inebriated Shua decided to donate. Also,
Yeah.
we have one from the Mr. John Weiss.
Yeah, he finally came
AKA
through.
Crypt. We
He
voted
finally
him
came
into that
through at the
donation
end.
hard.
Yeah.
And we have one from Mr. Walter Tip Bambrook, my kind
the
friend
fuck
who
is
helped
that?
jumped in at the last
Remember-
minute to help out
That
with
was
the
Tip.
stream.
It was Tip,
Oh, yeah, that guy. Hi.
guest member.
One of our friends from the Jackass Express.
And then, of course, as Dan already said, Mr. Dark Singularity himself.
Yeah.
Mr.
You forgot
Puneet.
me.
Huh?
You forgot
Didn't
I mean,
me.
forget
you're not-
Dan.
who are you?
I was following along on the list when you read it, and you totally skipped over it.
Thanks,
see.
Pat.
But I was
Wait,
mentioned.
where are you again?
I must be pretty
Damn.
special.
I
feel
don't
special.
see you on here, buddy. I don't see you on.
Wow.
Yeah. No, there's
I
also
put us
a
over
donation
350.
from Mr. Dan Doucette, which is very generous of him.
I figured it'd be a good idea for me to donate to my own cause. I'd feel like an ass if I let it go by and I didn't donate anything.
Oh, well, fuck you, Dan.
For the kids.
Wow.
Wow.
Fuzz, are you saying you did not donate?
I have
God.
no money whatsoever.
I didn't have
She
it.
That's
donated
totally
her
fine. I
health.
didn't mean anything to anybody who didn't donate.
She donated her.
The fact that you showed up mid-flu
one of her
and hung
kidneys.
out for like the majority of the 12 hours, that's better than a donation.
I
Though
think
I-
she sacrificed her nanopet to the sun god ball.
I do think Drunk Troll was getting upset with you, Fuzz, when you told him he needed to stop, and he was like, "No."
I was getting
Yes.
upset with Drunk Shua, so.
Yeah,
Drunk Shua was
that
wild. Drunk
That
Shua was
whole
like,
interaction was awesome.
he was so rebellious. He was just like, I'm gonna keep drinking for the kids, and she wants to stop me. What a monster! I think that's
For
what
the
Drunk
longest
Shua.
time, Shua and I have been talking about how great it's going to be when we go to RTX and get drunk together. And after that whole debacle, I'm just
Well,
not
to be
excited
fair,
about
I'm not the type of person who takes 10 shots.
I'm
which
not excited.
Which
about
apparently Tip thought that was not a lot. Which I was like, what? What?
I mean, to be fair, I also did probably
I
the
was,
same
like,
amount
doing-
of shots, and
I
I
was
was
doing-
totally fine.
I was doing hard liquor though. You
Yeah.
guys weren't.
Tip is a whole other issue in itself. He's used to much more unhealthy activities, I should say. So
What Pat's
to
trying to
him-
say, in the nicest way possible,
He's
is
an
that Tip is a
alcoholic.
raging alcoholic. So, I mean, 10 shots for Tip is like breakfast.
it's hey, look, man, you got to put something in the cornflakes, all right?
Allegedly.
Hi, Tip.
Yeah, no, Tip's he's a real cool guy, and he's just a bit of a vet when it comes to the creatures, so he's pretty cool.
Are we ever going to have him like on this podcast?
We could.
If you guys want him to be, he definitely would do it.
Go get him now. Get him now.
Can we get David Hasselhoff on the podcast?
Sure.
Dude, if
love
we could
that.
get the Hoff on,
Can we please get the Hoff on?
You don't
Not-
hassle the Hoff. I'm sorry.
well, that's the problem, right? I mean, you can't just ask him because you don't want to hassle
Can we
him.
do a charity live stream for us to get David Hasselhoff on the podcast? Can that be a thing?
I don't know how to
We-
set that up.
We can look into it.
And we can call it like the Hoff charity stream, just to get Hoff on.
My God.
Come on, guys, we just need $20,000, and he could talk to us for 10 minutes. Let's do it.
We'll take all of our $20,000
Yeah.
and be like, I finally got paid after
I
all
get the
these
feeling
years.
like it would. I get the feeling it wouldn't cost near that much to get Hasselhoff.
You think it'd
Are
be
you
like
sure?
$100 in a sandwich?
I mean, He's a big pop star in Germany, apparently, but since Baywatch, he hasn't really been that popular in the States, other than that video of him drunk off his ass eating a hamburger off the bathroom floor.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
Sometimes I feel things like that are staged. Like, he became so irrelevant after a while that he just had to do something controversial to get back in the public eye. And so he figured, I'm going to give my kid a camera and I'm going to get really drunk. And I'm just going to really play it up. And then he got so much attention after that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he became one of like these internet memes, like, the infamous people like poor Chuck Norris. I mean, he's awesome. But at the same time, it's these Chuck Norris jokes that really brought him back from the brink of just being irrelevant. And I've always been fascinated with those weird,
How dare you, sir?
You see,
he was and always will be Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh, yes.
A role that is near and dear to my heart.
Hasselhoff costs approximately $22,752.75.
I was fucking right.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
But apparently, Drunk Show's been looking at David Hasselhoff to come on.
Request a quote, but that's basically what I'm getting here.
Who do you think the cheapest celebrity is to get on a podcast?
Kevin Smith.
Oh.
No, just because he's got a whole fucking podcast network. I think he would just be like, it would be real cheap to get him to do anything because he just likes to talk.
I feel that.
I mean, if you've ever watched any of his Q&A things, like any of the Evening Withs or whatever, like they're like 3-hour long things, and there's maybe 3 questions throughout the whole thing because he just loves to tell stories. So, like, I don't know. I don't think it would take much to get Kevin Smith on.
Won't Matt brag?
So what we're doing is extending a formal invitation to Kevin Smith.
I would, yeah.
I would totally do that.
Come on,
Fuck, I'll tweet at him right now.
Do it.
Just
do it.
Don't
I'm
even do
doing
his
it.
real name. Do @Kev. Come on, Kev. Get on here.
And immediately the rest of us run away screaming, we don't know who it is. Dan, you're going to do the interview. You know who I would really like to interview one day is a guy named John Graham. I may have mentioned it once or twice before, but he is the guy who used to work for Machinima a long time ago, and he did this thing called Arby and the Chief.
Oh, shit, Pat. Free.
Right?
Now I know who you're talking about.
And he just started doing his web series again, Arby and the Chief.
Oh, did he really start that again? I thought he stopped it. And then again, Machinima stops everything.
What had happened is that there was that little falling out with Machinima after the whole Xbox dealy or whatever. I'm not really, intelligent enough about the subject to discuss it, but I know they let go of a lot of producers but out of a result, that's how they got Funhouse. So not complaining there.
Yeah.
But with John, he kind of went independent for a while. He was doing independent commissions, and then he decided to restart his projects and figured the best way to restart his projects would be to revive Arby and the Chief. And a lot of people kind of saw it as okay, now you're going to rehash something you already closed. But I enjoyed it because it's like it gave him the biggest challenge of taking something that was so finished and then bringing it back and why and what's the purpose of it. And for someone who basically plays with like little toy figurines all day, he really goes in depth with his characters. So he's a really fascinating dude, and I'd love to have him on a podcast.
Yeah, that was a really good show, man. When did I start watching that? I think I was 14, Pat. That's when I started watching Arby and the Chief. That was 6
I'm
years.
so old.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, that's a classic. That's definitely one of the Machinima classics.
I don't think many people knew who he was when they did that small little Rooster Teeth crossover with him, where he showed up and he directed a pirate's life. I think he was the one. He was in the first episode where the detective version of Bernie and Joel showed up.
Oh yeah.
I still don't know who he is.
Oh, I'll have to show you. I'll get a link in for the link dump. But I mean, he's just a really funny dude. If you get a chance, you go to YouTube, you check out John CJG. His name's John Graham, or you can go to his Squarespace page.
He didn't go by a different name, DJ Cinemax or something.
Oh, back in the day.
That's why I know him, because back in the day, that's what I knew him by.
By Digital Fear?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's exactly who I knew him by.
That's a long freaking time ago.
And that's when I started watching him.
Yeah, he's pretty funny dude. He's come a long way. His writing's come a long way.
Do you because machinima has changed so much based on all this. It's amazing how 6 years what machinima looked like back then to what it looks like now, which is just like 2 series and that's it. That's getting like barely 100,000.
Yep.
It's amazing how YouTube channels can like not die because machinima has so many subscribers, but can die and you never see it again. Like there was such a I remember a few years ago, Mystery Guitar Man was the biggest thing, and then he kind of died down. And what other examples? Tobuscus was a big thing, and now like no one watches him anymore. It's a really weird thing with YouTube how you can make it or break so quickly.
I haven't thought about Tobuscus in a long time.
Exactly, that's my point. Remember he was such a big deal to the point where he was competing with PewDiePie, and then PewDiePie just kind of beat him by a lot.
Like in a fist fight?
In a subscriber fight, but I'd like to think that it ended with a drunk brawl.
Well,
how long until we can have like Shua and like Barry from the Game Grumps like drunk slap fighting in like an alley or something?
Can we do it naked in like a mud bath?
I mean,
if that's what it needs,
we're gonna have to work that into a contract.
That's my conditions. Those are my conditions.
I don't know how we would handle getting you a life insurance policy.
The answer is Barry would want to do that, so you just need to bring the bath in the mud. So, I mean, get on that, Buzz.
Great.
Yeah. Set it up.
Wow, I think one of the coolest things about finally being able to, be a part of something like this Extra Life thing is just seeing how far everybody in our groups kind of become. And I really want to extend a huge thank you to the whole Dark Blubberhood who helped us out with this, because it's so awesome. Like Harry, who you guys may know as the guy who randomly jumped in our podcast at the beginning, and we feel really bad about switching times because we used to have him on all the time.
Harry, who you guys may know as the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah. And the guy who had his leg shaved for charity back in...
It's not shaved. I hate it when people say
that. It was waxed.
He was waxed.
Or his ponytail, Reginald. Very nice ponytail.
Yes, and next year having his eyebrows slightly trimmed. Not really. But he was with us pretty much the whole day, and we never asked him to be. So, I mean, he did that of his own free time, and that was pretty awesome of him.
Yeah, for sure. Another one that donated a bunch of her time and is in a completely different time zone than the rest of us was, as you mentioned earlier, Blondes or Anika.
Anika, yeah.
She was with us for like
a while,
a little over half, so like 6-7 hours, and she's in a time zone that's 5 hours ahead of where we were clocking, so 5 hours ahead of Eastern.
I'm actually very impressed with like the amount of people that stayed through their break, because when I was putting together the schedule for everybody, I made sure to have at least a 4-hour break out of 12 hours for everybody, and I'm pretty sure like everybody stayed through at least a majority of their break.
Yeah,
all of it.
I went for an hour just to get the booze, and that was it.
I went for an hour to try to sleep, and it didn't work, so I just came back.
Let me tell you how lucky I was that the liquor store was right next to a Subway, and then I had $20 was perfect enough to get a sandwich and that shitty fucking whiskey. It was a miracle, I tell you. It was a miracle.
My liquor store is also right next to a Subway. What a coincidence.
Do you think Subway has this planned? It's like, the drunks love sandwiches. That's what we do.
I would think so. I mean, that's genius, because I know when I get hammered, I'm like, I could go for Subway right now.
Subway says it's good, but to me, Subway's a guilty pleasure. Like, I don't go there to be like, oh, I'm going to be healthy. I just get like the chicken or like the least healthiest shit at Subway.
I don't go there to be healthy either. I go there because it's delicious.
Exactly, and then you eat it, and then you're like, I want more.
Subway is definitely like,
Actually, to be honest with you, I go more for the macadamia cookies than I go for the sandwiches.
Everyone goes there for the cookies. Yeah.
The macadamia cookies from Subway are the best.
You don't buy fucking chips with your combo. You're a monster.
The Why Did Ask For podcast brought to you by
I don't even
Subway.
go with like I'll take a cookie with my combo. I just get a sub and a dozen cookies.
Oh, how much are the cookies alone? I've never just... That'd be
they
great.
used to have, I think they raised it, but they used to have a dozen cookies for $5.
That's That's way.
So I
that's
used to go in there and be like, "Yeah, I'll take a dozen."
Is that better than Tim's? I think that's better
Yeah.
than Tim's. It is.
Yeah, it is.
And it's way better than
Ooh.
Tim's.
Is that
Yeah.
not like blasphemy for you guys?
Absolutely.
that?
Well, if you
No,
if we
I mean,
said that
with-
about coffee, maybe, but not about
Yeah,
cookies.
when it comes to Tim Hortons is like their brand is strong in the coffee, not so much on the baked goods.
Baked
They
goods
used
is
to
Strong with
do
this one.
Yeah.
about now this is going to date me, but about 15 or 20 years ago, they used to do all their baking by hand. And they would bake in the morning and then throw out whatever they didn't use at night. And it was awesome. Like their fritters were like the size of my head when I was a child, and they were delicious and they were cheap. And then they decided to switch their food model to like everything comes in boxes and it's all frozen, and you basically put it in not so much a toaster oven, but it's almost like a microwave.
Oh yeah.
And it's just, since they switched to that, it's like, you buy stuff because you want something with your coffee, but not
That's
necessarily.
exactly. I would
It's
say,
not because it's good.
I would say their newer cookies, the filled ones, are pretty good because it's different.
I never tried them.
They're definitely better than the regular ones, and I like their muffins. But like you said, I wouldn't buy them by themselves. Only when I'm getting a drink.
Yeah.
You don't go to Tim Hortons for their bakery. You go to an actual bakery.
Well, speaking of cookies, who loves cookies is kids. And you know who the leader of the kids are?
Kids
Peter
love
Pan.
the cookies.
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan loves cookies. And we were so lucky.
That segue.
Hey,
Even I don't know
the
the
owner of
Segway.
Segway drove it off a cliff. Drove it
Oh
off
my
a cliff.
God.
Is that true? I've heard that, but is that true?
He's not the original owner. He was like the CEO
doesn't sound
of it
right.
at the time.
No, I heard
true
that
fact.
the inventor of the Segway died by driving a Segway off a cliff.
I'm gonna check this. I'll be the fact checker.
I don't know if he was necessarily like the creator of it, but he was, I think, the CEO of the company at the time, and he was trying it out. And then he just didn't quite
Yeah,
veer
Segway's
correctly.
CEO dies in Segway accident.
That's not funny, but it is.
So
Well,
he
that's
made a
kinda
bad
like- that's kinda
segue,
like
if you will.
But that's kind of like
God
the
damn
CEO
it,
of
Pat.
eHarmony losing his wife from someone on eHarmony.
Oh yeah, that happened too, eh?
That did happen too.
That's funny.
But yeah.
The wife of the person who made eHarmony lost.
Yeah. Lost
Yeah.
his wife to somebody on eHarmony.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great, right?
That is terrible. But yeah, we got this amazing picture of Peter Pan dressed by our great friend, Mr. Drew.
Oh
And-
yes.
You know
I
what we should do with all these pictures that we have, that we've put up? Like I put up the picture of myself in makeup and the picture of Drew and all of our embarrassing photos. If we can, we should put them up on our Instagram,
Oh.
because we do have a Why Did Ask For Instagram account.
We should absolutely. as
That
long as
sounds like heavy hinting to tell me to do a new job. That's what that sounds like.
I just learned
Buzz,
today that we
please.
have an Instagram. Man,
Not
I
at
learned
all.
so much.
We've had an Instagram since before we had a podcast.
They've
almost
had an
as-
Instagram since before they had a fuzz, but they haven't been using it apparently. Let's do this.
No, because I couldn't think of things to Instagram like that related to us. So like,
What
there's a
about-
couple pictures of like
We can Instagram
my
big
screen
booties.
when I was editing the podcast
that's
and stuff,
us.
but
Oh yeah. There he is.
Mr. Peter Pan.
Isn't
himself.
he lovely?
Jesus.
Don't be creepy, Pat. He was in like the 6th grade when he took this picture.
No, I was about to
Now,
say something.
now
but
he's a real
it's gonna
boy.
sound wet. Yeah,
He's a- oh my
Peter
God.
Pan never grows up, Fuzz. So you're talking about going to. I'm segueing back up the mountain.
Segwagging?
Segueing.
You're climbing back up the cliff
What-
after you jump off.
What is the? Yes, I'm climbing. The zombie Segway owner is now coming up the cliff now.
Yeah.
What is the best drunk snack out there?
Ooh.
Why did ask for?
No. That's at the end, Fuzz. You're doing it. I would-
best food. I think it's probably personal, but like I usually go for McDonald's, as gross as that is.
McDonald's
Really?
is good. I feel like we were talking about cookies. I feel like cookies are usually on my mind when I'm super drunk. Like you just want to munch that, and definitely pizza. Pizza's a really good drunk food.
If I
That's true.
Yeah, pizza's all right.
If
Sorry.
I'm preparing to be drunk, and this is coming from somebody that's only been drunk like 4 times.
Mhm.
If I'm preparing ahead of
In 4
time,
days.
listen,
Wild
It'll
animal
be-
here.
it'll be like a big meal, like almost always steak.
Oh my
And-
god!
Wow.
I feel like
fine
that-
dining drunk
I feel
here.
like out
Yeah,
of
like
all the
because I know
things-
that I need to have a full belly, so I'll get like steak and a baked potato and like some bread, and
Like,
then I
fucking
know that I'm good
fancy.
to drink a
I
bottle
feel
of
though
wine.
like steak wouldn't go well with alcohol.
Oh, are
I've
you
never-
talking about like before you drink?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you
Oh.
said during. I was
Yeah,
like,
this is
that's
before
an
I do.
awful choice. Was
I usually go for if I'm planning a night, I usually go for either pasta or
Yeah.
something carb heavy.
Mhm,
But like
mhm.
after I'm drunk, it's like pizza's good.
Oh,
McDonald's
do
is
you
good,
mean,
but
like,
McDonald's is
strictly
better the
after?
day after when you're
yeah,
hungover.
like drunk food when you're like you're in a tizzy and you're hungry.
You need that little greasy thing in there to help out.
That I think that's the perfect word. Greasy is the definition of
Oh,
drunk
I think
food.
one time I went out to go get a chili dog.
Chili dogs good. Hot
Nice.
dogs are
Good choice.
Chili's like, I don't know, that's like playing with fire though.
Yeah, it could end
Because it's
bad.
like 50-50. That might
don't
come
wanna-
back
you
up, and
don't
it's not
want-
going to be good.
You don't want stuff going out both ways.
No.
That's disgusting.
Well, I mean, that's the problem. It arises when you have a chili dog and you're drunk. It's the
True.
It's
ultimate-
not happened to me.
It's the ultimate sacrifice.
It's very true.
Has that ever happened? You guys? It's never happened to
oh.
me. But
Last
you know,
time during the flood when I got drunk, I ate like a million mini donuts.
oh,
Oh,
God.
those are bad in general
Yeah.
because you keep. Well, I don't know. I do anyway because I'm fat. But you keep telling yourself that like, oh, they're just little. You've only had a couple. It's fine. And next thing you know, the whole goddamn thing's gone.
I feel
And
like
that's whether you're drunk or not.
I've been doing the Buff Buddies challenge, and that was my biggest problem: getting the little delicious snacks, and then you eat one like, well, it's little. I can have like 5 more, and then 5 becomes 20.
Yeah.
Oh, can I suggest snacks to be able to help in like all situations here?
Okay.
Yeah.
I suggest Nature Box. Nature Box is a box full
Fuzz,
of good.
they're
No,
not
we're
our
not
sponsors.
sponsored by Nature
We
Box.
can't say it. They won't give us money if we just say their name.
Nature Box. If you want me to finish this ad read,
Are we now blackmailing them? Like, we'll kill your family if we can't finish it.
damn it, Shua, now we can't have it.
When it's 3 p.m. and you're cranky and lightheaded.
Nature
No, but-
Box.
I don't know. That's all I remember from the
Eat a
Rooster
chili
Teeth ad
cheese
read.
dog.
Have you guys eaten bratwurst? Like
What is that?
Like ever in my
probably.
life?
it's like a German like
It's a type of
sausage.
Do you guys
sausage.
not
No.
know what bratwurst is?
No.
Wow.
I do.
It's
Well, it's
delicious.
It's just never been in my life before, Fuzz.
It's like basic tenets of barbecue food.
Oh,
I have the feeling like I have, but I'm just
I
not
feel like
aware of it.
I feel like
Oh
the
my
states are more
God.
about the barbecue food. Like
Pat.
I
Pat,
That I
Pat,
know. Yo, yes.
Pat.
What is it, Fuzz?
Can we, when RTX happens, can we take the Canadians to a barbecue?
I feel though our big
Yes.
thing's fish. Like
Although
these,
Dan will only go probably if we pay for it, so we have to be very careful.
I'll buy it.
What
The East
are you
Coast
saying
is-
about Dan right
The East
now?
Coast is
Wow.
definitely a fish thing. Like
Thanks,
No offense,
Pat.
Dan. Dan, please. Because I know I would do the same thing.
Dan will only go if you pay because he's a poor Canadian.
I didn't say you were poor. I was just like,
No,
I
you didn't
wanna
say it.
go
You just
there.
implied it. That's all.
I'd go.
No,
I want
it's
to go to
okay.
Rudy's. I'd love to go to Rudy's.
Oh my God, Rudy's
Try,
is so
they try
good.
I've been
good.
to, we have a Rudy's in El Paso. It's delicious.
I'm not sure that I would want I'd want to go there just to say that I went there and Rooster Teeth
That's
used
my
to go there.
reasoning too, and then I
But-
hope it's good.
But like when
is.
I hear Bernie say like is it maybe it's I hope I'm thinking of the right one. I think Rudy's is the one that's like it's like attached to a gas station.
Yeah, I think is
Yes.
that true?
Yeah,
that's
so
it.
like Bernie's talked about it before, and like the way he talks about it, he's like, it's not great. It's okay.
I
But
think it
has
might
a-
also be because there's so many there that it's saturated and
That's
they
true
eat it
too,
all the
Dan.
time.
We don't get good barbecue places.
But it is
Oh no,
good.
no, I'm not saying like I can't say that it's good or bad.
No,
I'm just saying like the part of me that wants to go to Rudy's is the Rooster Teeth fan in me. Because I want to go
I feel-
everywhere that they've gone.
I feel like
But at the
that's
same time, it's like, but I've heard Bernie say that it's not that great. So I'm like, maybe there's better barbecue places to go.
Yeah, but the thing is with
Well,
Bernie,
here's the thing. Because
Okay, go ahead, Fuzz.
is
Oh,
Rudy's
sorry.
affordable. That's a good point too.
I was just
It
going to
is
say that
affordable.
with Bernie, I don't know if like he does it on purpose or whatever, but sometimes you can kind of sense a little bit of hipster coming out of him. Where it's like,
a
hey,
hipster.
this is a mainstream thing that is really cool, but oh man, you know what? That sucks. And so you got
This
to go to
week on
Home
the
Slice
podcast,
and
we shit on every possible sponsor we could ever have.
No, but see, that's okay
Sponsored by Rudy's.
because we all have that. We all have our little quirks and stuff, and overall, Bernie's awesome. But
I get what
mean,
you're saying though, like
once
because
in a
I've
while-
heard him say the same thing about like Home Slice and
right, and then suddenly Home Slice wasn't good enough. Oh, I found this
what's the
other
other one?
place.
You know what's a great place?
Whataburger, I
Pizza
think?
Hut.
Whataburger's
My God.
amazing. Whataburger's outstandingly
I'm pretty
amazing.
sure like
I
I'm
will-
pretty sure he said something about Whataburger once too. It was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
will
always,
say this
like,
about
packed.
like I will say this that like I hate it when people are like, I'm from this area, so I understand this food like really, really well, better than anyone else, blah blah blah. But I've lived like in the Southeast US my entire life, and I've been up and down the Southeast my whole life too. So I've had, I think, every different kind of barbecue that you can. So I like having known that and being like all over, I feel like Rudy's is pretty good. I personally don't care much for the sauce because I'm like a honey based or like a mustard based kind of gal, but it's just good meat. It's good barbecue.
Oh yeah,
Huh?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It gets the job done. I'll put it that way. When you're craving barbecue, you want something special. That's definitely the place to go.
It's
I've
the
always
best
wanted to-
meat I've ever had, but if I could bring like sauce from like my hometown or from like Virginia or something and put it on there, it would be fantastic.
See, what I think we should do is if we meet in Austin and we're at that, we're able to stay at that one house from that, I forget what it's called, the B&B, Airbnb.
Yeah. Airbnb.
We should have a cookout and just a cookout / barbecue, whatever you want to call it. And we'll just bring everything. Drew will bring the lobsters. Shua will bring his lobsters. I will bring.
We will put them in a cage
I will
and then
bring
they'll
some
fight.
We'll
frozen,
make them fight.
frozen
It'd be
hamburger patties
lobster
from the gas
cockfight.
station. And then Fuzz will bring bratwursts, and man, it'll be freaking awesome.
I have nothing to add to that.
No, I know my.
Absolutely, you have
I know
stuff
my
to add to that.
haddock.
You can bring the Canadian beer.
That's a Canadian thing. Haddock.
That's true.
Well, if
Please
I had
don't
it.
bring fucking haddock to a
Yeah,
grill
fish
out.
is great. Fish is fucking great.
I love fish. Freaking like trout. It's pretty good. I like trout.
Okay, Pat, how
Yo.
steeped are you in barbecue culture?
How steeped am I?
Yes.
I wouldn't call myself very good, but I know names of things.
But you're from El Paso, right? So
Yeah.
let me paint a scenario for you. You get invited to go to a barbecue or a cookout. Two very different things, by the way, but we'll get into that later. And it's a potluck kind of deal where you have to bring something. So everybody has like baked beans, they have barbecue chicken, prime rib, all types of good stuff.
Yeah.
You show up with a plate full of haddock.
I feel like
What do
that's
people
okay.
think of you at
Aw.
that barbecue?
They see a different perspective on a traditional
But I mean, if
custom.
What
everyone
do
else is
people
bringing
think of you at that
red meat,
barbecue,
They-
Pat?
might
they
as well
love
bring
me.
fish. Yeah,
And that's
I
not
would
true.
say there would be some heroes there. You know,
Yeah.
people who don't eat red meat. Because I'm not eating red meat for right now. I'd bring fish.
I am also going to do the Buff Buddy challenge, but if you think that I'm going to fucking be on a diet while I'm in Austin, fucking Texas,
No, I'm
you're
going to be
absolutely
off
wrong.
my diet too. I'm just saying.
We're also, hopefully, if I plan it out correctly, we're going to be there during the ice cream festival. So,
Oh, fuck me.
Ooh.
I'm going to
Yeah.
be fat again.
So basically, I'll have to bring Tums and Rolaids and all other heartburn medicine.
Pat, you're so old.
You know what? I want to go to Louisiana.
And
I
you
kinda
have, like,
wanna go
You
too.
do not want to go to
Cajun food.
Louisiana.
Cajun
No, I
food's
do.
great. Cajun food's great.
Let me tell you something. Okay, I've been to Alabama before, and that whole side of the
Not
country.
Louisiana, but okay.
No, but I'm comparing it, comparable to this. Bear with me. I've been in that general area, and you walk outside, and it's like you're hit with this invisible shower that's constantly
Oh, yes.
around you, and it soaks your clothes immediately. And like you take showers and you try to get clean, but you're never clean because the heat there is so
Oh, yes.
like humid. It is like
Look, here's my plan for that.
Uh-huh.
Fly into Louisiana, hop out the airport real quick, get some authentic Cajun food, hop back in the airport, and get the fuck out of there.
What are you,
That
rich?
could work.
Because I don't
exactly.
like heat like that. Like, if I step outside and immediately start sweating, I'm uncomfortable.
Once
I feel
again, up and down the Southeast my entire life, being outside in the summer anywhere in the Southeast, specifically in Louisiana or South Carolina, where it's like a very wet environment, it's like sitting inside of someone's mouth.
Oh, I don't know.
That's sort of what it's like.
That's a really good way of looking at it.
Where's the best place to live? Because I hate the snow, right? But I hate what you're saying. I hate the snow, and it's coming soon. It's coming soon, and I'm gonna have to shovel every day.
I would say probably like Northeast US would be the most moderate.
Because man,
Like somewhere in New England, probably,
I'm not
where
excited for the winter.
you're not like Maine, where it's snowing and fucking
Just move to like eastern BC.
Yeah,
DC is okay. DC is also a very dangerous neighborhood.
that's also true.
Neighborhood? BC's a province.
Queen State.
Well, it's not a state.
Are you talking about BC or DC?
BC, British Columbia.
Because
Oh, I thought we were
Yeah,
talking about
because-
Washington DC.
because I was like,
No.
Fuzz is saying DC, and then Dan's saying BC. So I just thought, and I was
Oh,
like,
we
never
mixed up
mind.
our B's and
Oh, boy.
D's.
I'm gonna say
Never
No, I was
BC.
talking about British Columbia.
I think you should just try living in El Paso for a while, because a lot of people who were fed up with like the weather in other parts of the country came to us because almost nothing happens here. No tornadoes, no crazy blizzards, living in igloos. No,
but also
I mean, yeah,
no rain for fucking months on end.
yeah, that's true. But when it rains, it freaking rains, man. And it's really nice actually. But the only problem is our weather like changes on the dime. So one day it could be blistering hot, and the next day it's freezing cold. But you know, it's funny about living here is that we're so not used to having cold temperatures that sometimes like there'll be a slight little like, you know, sometimes it'll snow and there's like a little spit of snow, and it's not even really snow. It's just got cold enough for things to look like it snowed.
No, Pat, I
One
have
time-
no idea what you mean by that. When
I
it
know
snows
you're
here,
shoveling
it
out from
fucking
your dad.
snows.
I know what you mean, Pat.
But our city like shuts down. Like the
Oh, yeah.
schools shut down. They tell everybody not to go outside because it's going to be a humongous snowstorm, and then it just barely little sprinkles, and it's like we wasted a tax dollar a day. But most of the time, it's actually great weather here.
I will
I've
say,
only seen snow in my life, I think 3 times. And
wow.
whenever I'm talking to like you guys, especially like Dan or Shua or Drew, people who see it way too much in their lives, they
Way
get so
too
annoyed by
much.
it. But
I
I'm
hate
like,
it. I hate it.
I'm mesmerized by it. I love it. It's
you
fantastic.
won't like it when you have to wake up at 6:00 in the morning just to shovel your way out. And that's my experience.
I
with it.
don't care. I mean,
It
I drive an
snows-
SUV, so I can just like, I won't
But
have
even-
to get up
even-
early because I can just drive over it.
But I mean, even with the recent weather we've been having, like last year was like 5 feet of snow one day, the next lake is
Yeah.
5 feet. Like it was
Yeah.
awful. You
But I'm
couldn't
like,
just-
I'm like the odd man out on this whole thing. Like the majority of people I know, like hate snow. They're tired of it. They've dealt with it my whole life. I'm moving to fucking Florida or something. I don't mind it.
It snows so little here that like at the elementary schools here, when they're sending kids off for winter break, they have a thing that they do every year where they'll in science class like make fake snow so that
That's
they can
sad.
take some home with them, so that way they sort of know what snow feels
Mommy,
like.
I made
Aw.
snow. Now we
Yeah.
can
Isn't that
celebrate
weird how
Christmas.
the grass always looks so greener on the other side?
Exactly.
Of the snow looks so whiter. It's like, yeah, because we never get snow. So it's like, I look forward to snow.
I never thought about
Yeah.
how weird it'd be. It happened to me only once, a green Christmas.
Yeah, same.
It's-
And I don't like it.
It
It's
happens
really-
all the time over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't
all
like
the
it.
time.
I've had Christmases where I had to go outside wearing shorts. So
It sounds cool.
Like when I hit December 1st and it hasn't snowed yet, I start sweating. Like, there's not gonna be any snow for Christmas. It's gonna be fucking terrible Christmas. You gotta have snow on Christmas.
Isn't that what happened last year? Last year, it
no.
was either that last year or the year before. It was like
No,
there was-
last year, well, at least in Ottawa, last year we got snow, I think on the 21st. that actually stuck.
That makes sense then, because
Like
then
it had snowed a few times and it never stayed.
Because we didn't get any till January, and then it just fucking hit for months.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to get Dan like that little thing that Olaf had at the end of Frozen.
There's a little snow cloud over my head.
A little snow cloud over his head.
I'd be okay.
Because
with
if you're
that.
gonna go to Austin, holy crap, man!
Do you guys think?
I know if I end up going to Austin, like, I'm not going to be happy. I guarantee you that the whole time I'm there, I won't be happy because I hate the fucking heat.
Austin is so nice. It's so nice.
Well, you were there when they changed it in August. Like, remember they used to have it in July when it was freaking sweating and.
No, you don't understand, Pat. Remember how I said living in South Carolina is like sitting in someone's mouth?
Oh, you're comparing
Austin
it
is the
to
first time I've ever been somewhere, and it was like a dry heat. I felt powerful. Because I was used to the heat, but I could still breathe for like the first time in my entire life. I knew what it felt like to get dry air into my lungs. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's all the drinking.
I don't know what the difference between a dry
feel
heat
like
and not. But
I don't know how you'd survive in Canada. I really don't.
The difference is like
I really
dry
wouldn't.
heat. You don't walk into a building and feel like you have to like wipe sweat off yourself all the time.
Because I was talking to you, Amber, about how I would go in a sweater out to like it was like -1 Celsius, and I would go out in just a sweater, and you were so shocked.
it's roughly 32 degrees for you American people.
Yeah.
65 is sweater weather here.
My God.
I don't know what that is in Celsius.
65 is like, what, 72? 72 is 22, so 65 is around 18?
That's short weather. That's fucking beautiful weather.
Yeah, absolutely not.
That's gorgeous weather.
But
That's
yeah,
like
when I
spend the day at the beach weather.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
When I was
feel
at RTX, I had like the great pleasure of talking to Matt Bragg, who is from the same area that I'm from. He's like from the same town. And so I told him I was from here, and he was like, I'm so sorry. And we talked about how weird it is to come from here to go to Texas. And he was saying that the thing is, humidity feels awful while you're in it, but at the same time, everybody around you feels awful. So you don't judge anyone by how much they're sweating because everyone is sweating and miserable.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in a dry heat, people sweat more than others. And then it becomes like an embarrassing thing.
That's true.
Yeah, I can see that point.
I
think
sweat-
that's part of the reason why I hate humidity is because, like, I start sweating and I immediately associate that with smell. So I'm like, oh man, I smell bad and people are going to judge me. But if it was like everywhere and everyone's feeling the same thing that I'm feeling, then I guess it would be different because people are going to stink because everybody's sweating.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see it being a little easier in the sense that, like, you don't have to worry because, you just pass somebody and you smell, but they smell, so fuck it. It's all good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I have a before and after picture of my hair from when I had been out in like my town's humidity for like fucking, I think, 1 day.
Oh.
Oh no, is this gonna get to go into the link though?
Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care. They're not bad pictures.
Is that the before?
One is before and then the second one's after.
There's only one.
Do you think Jesse's gonna murder us
no,
for
there's
talking
not.
about the weather? I mean, I can't help but feel that he's not.
We're already like 20 minutes into it, so
Man, how's the weather, guys?
He might take issue with it.
can you guys like Dan and Shua,
Huh?
Yeah.
if you guys like fill up a cooler with snow and like send it to me in December, I will be forever grateful to you.
It'd
cooler
melt before it got
snow.
there.
Yeah, it would probably melt. Unless you want to.
Figure out a way to get it to me like intact.
How about you just buy ice cream, a bunch of ice cream, and then just lay it on the grass, and then just make snow angels?
Yeah, go get an
Or
icy, but
you
don't
can
put
buy
any
blocks of ice,
flavor on
right?
it.
I don't know if you can where they
My
live.
God.
Why wouldn't you be
I'm
able
gonna
to?
buy some more
I
fake
don't-
snow.
I don't feel like-
you guys.
You don't
What?
think that a hot state, like somewhere there where it's really hot, wouldn't sell ice blocks and ice cubes?
Well, I'm thinking. I thought you meant like big ice blocks. Like, of course, a fucking ice.
No,
cubes.
I'm talking just like a
I
block
thought you
of
mean
ice.
like
Like you
fucking
can go
selling
to
a
the
big
corner
ice
store and
cube,
get
but
a
it
block
doesn't.
of ice.
Thought you were talking about big blocks of ice, not little bags of ice.
Wow.
Because of course you can.
What do you
go
mean
to a
big
gas
blocks of
station.
ice?
Just like like the stereotypical igloo like ice block. You know?
No,
Aw.
I'm talking
But
about
now
like
I
the
know
stuff
what
you can
you
go to
mean
a
now,
corner
you were
store and
judging
get.
me.
Please
Yeah,
tell me
just
you
go to
can
a
buy those in Canada.
No, well,
No.
that's why I was confused. Like we can't even buy that in Canada.
No.
But I
I
mean,
just
you're
meant like a
saying-
block of ice out of
yeah,
like a
Going to a
at a
gas
convenience
station
store.
and buying their whole freezer of ice.
Yeah.
You know what you can buy though?
What?
A mattress from Casper.com.
We
Oh
don't
my
have
God,
any
Fuzz.
sponsors. Do you want to sponsor us, Fuzz? Do you have $5 to sponsor us?
I'm getting us started. I'm getting.
They're gonna
Oh,
start.
this
They're gonna start
sponsor is brought to you
charging
by
us for
Fuzz.
saying their name.
She's
That's
great.
true.
She gets
The-
us money.
The only way to get sponsors is to get downloads.
But you know
to
who
even
we are
qualify
sponsored
for
by?
sponsorship.
You know who we are sponsored by?
Who?
The Jackass Express podcast, who is very proud of the Why Did Ask For podcast, Total Events.
If we're sponsored by them, then where's the money flow?
We pay you guys in
Why
compliments.
am I? Why do
Oh,
I not
yeah.
have a yacht yet, guys?
That's a good question.
We're also poor. But
Good question.
okay, this is gonna sound really ignorant here, but
Oh boy.
are there actually igloos anywhere in the world? Like, is igloos really
yeah.
a thing? still?
There is, and
Igloos are a thing, but like way up north.
it's more of a cultural thing up there.
Right next to Santa Claus?
Oh
yeah,
my
right
God.
next to him.
Basically, yeah. Just outside his property line.
Yeah.
I totally want to go visit Santa Claus one of these days. I just don't have the money to make the trip.
Hey, Pat, I'll tell you the truth later, but it's okay.
There's got to be something up there, right? Like right in the center of the North Pole, like some jokester has like built a house there, right?
I'm
Maybe like a stripper house. Like that's
I'm
the
not
thing.
sure.
Stripper.
Like the
I don't
North-
think they would have
That-
survived the
That'd be
trip.
a perfect name, the North Pole, and it's
Oh
just
my
one
God.
pole. and
Oh, that's
Do it. You
amazing.
know what you got to do.
It's a
I
stripper
know.
pole with a frozen
all my-
stripper on it.
All my Why Did Ask For investments are going to go to the North Pole stripper pole. It's going to be beautiful.
I want to go to the North Pole just to see if somebody took the chance and like fucking built something there.
I want to say that I've heard of things being up there, but could be wrong.
Let's figure
What if
this
there's
out.
just Yetis up there and they're just
'Cause
waiting
peop-
for someone?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people have traveled to the poles, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure, like, there's got to be stuff there, but does anybody have Google Earth?
It's just a regular
No.
house.
See
No,
if
because this
see
is
if there's
in
a street view at
2007.
the North Pole.
A street view. I would love to see a street view of the
I
North
love
Pole.
the idea of a Google car just kind of driving through the Arctic.
It's just like he goes to the North Pole and it's just a cul-de-sac. a bunch of nice houses.
There's
That'd be
like
good.
Santa there. He's like watering his yard next to the sleigh. It's the cold's nothing to him. But
Well, like-
I think one of our missions in Why Did Ask For should be to at some point make a Why Did Ask For igloo. I would like to see that done.
Absolutely not. We've established that I don't do well in the cold.
True.
Aww.
That
True.
should be next year's goal. Is Fuzz has to go into a room full of ice or do an ice bath.
No.
That'd
No.
be a great goal.
I would not do that.
No.
No.
Even I
There
wouldn't
was
do an
a-
ice bath.
I'd
You
do
know,
that for
but-
1,000 ice bath. Yeah.
If we can get, I'm hesitant already by saying this. If we can get, I don't know, 1,000 subscribers by RTX, and I'll do an ice bath.
Oh.
Like Dotel.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. 1,000, huh?
Not like
Ooh.
naked or whatever. I'll be
No,
like
but
in a
bathing
suit.
suit.
Well, obviously.
I'll even
Yeah,
let you have a sweater, Fuzz, in the ice bath. It won't help,
Great.
but
I'll ruin a sweater for
Yeah.
1,000 subscribers.
So I need to go find these websites that like pretend to subscribe to you.
Yeah. Pat's gonna
And
make
be like,
1,000
"Oh,
accounts just
Wow,
for you.
Fuzz, we just got 20,000 subscribers. It's amazing.
Incredible.
Yes.
No, take your damn bath.
Take your ice bath.
And then the day after when I don't pay the bill, oh, they all unsubscribed. Oh, well.
Oh, wow.
Incredible.
Oh, that's harsh.
That's how we roll.
You know, there actually is, I think, a website where you can hire like 1,500 people to show up for anything, and they just will pretend to support whatever cause you're
That is-
supporting.
That's something.
And they're actually pretty affordable, too. So I'm thinking it'd be funny to one day, I think they're like 1,500 or something like that, and they'll just show up to rallies and public events. And they did, I forget who it was, But there was some public speaker that was talking, and they found out he had actually commissioned these people to show up for his rally to make himself look really super important. And it was pretty funny. It was pretty freaking funny.
I would pay them just to follow me to make me feel good.
I discovered something fantastic, guys.
What'd you discover?
While there is not necessarily a Santa's workshop right in the middle of the North Pole,
Santa?
very nearby, people have built a Santa Claus village in the Finnish town of Rovaniemi, I guess?
Is there a North Pole stripper pole
I cannot find that
for all the naughty
out.
owls? You know,
It would be really, I think, inspiring to a little kid to take them to the North Pole somehow, or show them a Google map of the North Pole.
And then you freeze to death. That's the end.
Well, no, maybe not take them to the North Pole, but like show them Google Earth, and then look, there is, a village and stuff. So that's kind of cool. I know that if I was a kid and there was like proof that something was there in the North Pole, I would get it all excited, and that'd be the
It
greatest
would
thing
give
in
me
the
an
world.
extra 3 years of believing.
True.
What do you mean believe in it? Santa's real.
When did you realize that Santa Claus was,
What? What are you talking about?
was a phony?
It's
The greatest
for me.
person of all time, Shua?
For me, it started with the Easter Bunny.
Ooh, and then
Um,
then you slowly realized.
Well, no, because here's the thing. So I
He's real
was starting to babysit my younger cousins. So I was like, I don't know, 12, and I know that's probably a little bit old, but whatever. And it was like the first time I babysat or something, and my aunt and uncle came back, and I was getting ready to go home. And my aunt was like, "Oh shit, I have to do the Easter Bunny thing," and I was like, "What?" And she looked at me, and I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Oh, nothing. Never mind. Just." And she left, and I was like,
No,
Huh.
be quiet. Stop asking questions.
"She's
I
got it."
feel
Oh.
like
And then it clicked for like everything for me all at once. I was like, "Oh, okay." Fucking Tooth Fairy, all that shit. Okay, but yeah, that's how it went for me.
I didn't have like a shattering or anything realization of it. I don't even remember what age I was when I figured it out, but I know that for at least 2 or 3 years after figuring it out, I kept it up because I knew that I got better gifts if I pretended that I knew that Santa Claus was real.
Scamming the system.
Yeah. Same for the Tooth Fairy too.
See,
User
you're all
joined your channel.
you're
I
all
feel
crazy.
though, the
Santa's
older you get-
absolutely real.
The older you get, the cheaper the Tooth Fairy is. Let's be honest.
That's true.
That's not true. You see, you didn't live with grandparents.
Ooh.
True.
I got
that
like
would-
$10 per tooth, dude.
I would only get
But
$1
then,
per
but then I
tooth.
stopped being an only child, and that stopped happening.
No,
I think
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the trick is that like the more excited and appreciative you are for gifts, the cooler gifts you're always going to get.
That's
So like once you start being like, oh, this is cool. Hey, you got me a sweater. That's wonderful. Then it's like, okay, this kid's getting nothing but sweaters for the rest
I'm
of
at
his
the
life.
age though where my mom called me. He's like, "Do you want socks for Christmas?" And I said, "Are they cool socks?" And she said, "Probably." And I said, "Sure." That's
Who
my
doesn't
life
want
now.
socks for Christmas at this point?
I'm like, "Oh, cool socks. I'm down."
They
I'd
could
like
just
to
be
point out-
Walmart socks. I don't care. I'm good with that.
Okay, now I know what I'm getting Dan for Christmas. Walmart socks.
Walmart sock.
Yeah, good old Walmart. Well, Target socks. We don't have that anymore, so it'd be
No,
a privilege.
No,
Let's do
Target
a
was
Secret
Target was a
Santa,
fail
guys.
in Canada.
It was very big.
You want
fail.
to do a Secret Santa?
Let's do a Secret Santa with 4 people.
And socks, just socks. It's just promise. We all give
Just
each
us.
other socks.
Whoever gets the
We'd have to
insane
find
amount
that,
of vodka, you'll know it's from Chua.
We'd have to find that website that Jeff orders his socks from.
Yeah, I just go to Winners. Winners has great socks.
I want you guys to know before we do the Secret Santa thing that I don't like socks.
I'm gonna
Big
buy
enough.
you the best socks.
Totally.
I don't
You,
like socks.
you don't like
Completely
socks because you've never gotten the right pair.
Yeah, you've never got the
Oh,
good
God.
pairs.
Socks,
Right?
flood socks, all sorts of socks.
Socks
Yeah.
I
are a
like
great
thigh-high
accessory.
socks, but I feel like if you guys buy me thigh-high socks, that's going to be really weird.
What if?
Well,
I
and
bought
I mean,
you, like,
Thigh high to you is like
Fuck you, Dan.
I could just send you a pair of my socks and they'd be thigh highs.
I'm going to choke you with a pair of socks.
I feel like it'd be easy for Fuzz if, say, it's like if it's close enough to Christmas, all I'd do is just get like a thing of like snow and then just send that and be like, Well, if it melts,
Just
it
send
melts.
me a bucket of snow for
Yeah, if
Christmas.
it melts,
I'll
it
be happy.
melts.
A bottled water that just
Yeah,
says snow.
here's some bottled water that was snow at a
Yeah,
time.
honestly, it was snow. It just melted.
Just throw it in the air and hope it turns into snow again.
My God.
So, Dan, regarding the whole Santa thing, are you still doing a Santa thing for your kids, or is it like, nah?
Of course I am.
Still doing it.
They're 5 and 2.
Go up to
Well,
the
but like,
three-year-old,
do
Santa
you
doesn't
dress
exist!
up as Santa, or
No,
do you just no?
no, because I don't want to take the chance that they recognize me.
Oh, I see.
Like, I would never do that just because there's always that chance where we go, you look a lot like Santa Claus did last night, and we're like, uh-oh. So no, I don't. And
You
like
just
when
tell
it
them
comes to
that's
like,
racial profiling.
I think it'd scare them if Santa Claus was like banging their
and when it
mom.
comes
You
to,
should have your hot brother-in-law do it.
Oh,
No,
dang.
better yet. You should have your hot brother-in-law dress up as Santa and come to the States.
right, send
then-
it to South Carolina.
Come
Do
to
you
my
understand-
house Christmas Eve.
Can I just say, Fuzz, do you have a Santa fetish? Is that what we're learning?
Oh boy.
No, I think she just has a little crush on my brother-in-law.
Why
I
does
feel-
Santa look like Mr. Play or Dr. PlayStation?
You know exactly. You know what I'm gonna do, Fuzz, and I promise you, if I get you, you're gonna get a ring on the door, and you're gonna open it. And it's gonna be like it's Santa Claus, and then you're gonna be like, I didn't order Santa Claus. And
Wait,
so
are
he's
you gonna send her a stripogram?
Yeah,
really
he's gonna
weak
strip his
order
clothes.
Santa Claus.
He's gonna strip
I
his
love
shirt
it.
off. It's like Santa's here.
Ho ho ho.
Yeah, who wants to be my ho ho ho?
You see, I think what this is going to amount to is Shua getting horribly drunk, dressing up as Santa, going to visit Fuzz.
No, thank you.
Fuzz, take care of me. I don't know where I am.
He'll get drunk enough that he thinks he's walking to South Carolina, and he'll
Yeah.
insult one of his
Santa without a
neighbors.
shirt on, walking
Jesus
down.
Christ.
I'm just still lying down on my floor, like I'm walking. I'm walking.
Like, Shua, please, it's the middle of July. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's for, with my shirt off. It's for the kids. It's
For the kids. All right, guys. We're just about at time here. So if we have any final thoughts, let's throw them in now and get ready to wrap up.
I'll announce this.
'Kay.
If you're a Why Did Ask For fan, which I know, Mom, you are, and you want to, I'm going to announce it here because it's going to come out tomorrow. And you want to lose some weight with me, I'll be starting a Buff Buddies group for people to support each other. And if you want to help lose weight or change your lifestyle, we'll be there together. Because I'll be doing it. Last week I lost 7 pounds. Now I'm hoping for more this week.
Very cool.
Are you starting a group for that? Or is that
Yeah.
going to be in...
It'll be
Okay.
on Group Me.
I might join you on that.
I'll support, give some advice. You know?
Anybody else?
I was going to go on a rant earlier that I forgot to do. So I'll just compile it into a small thing.
Okay.
Being sick is very expensive, and I found that out this week.
Well, of
Uh-huh.
course you're in America.
Not just that, because I've had to pay for medicine and vitamin C, and then I haven't been able to cook, so I've had to like pay to get my fucking food delivered because I'm a cripple and I can't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, being
Terrible.
sick is expensive, and that's all I had to
I
say.
love not having that problem. Because
Right?
but it's like I'm just thinking in a Canadian perspective, like how you can just go to a clinic and just wait 10 minutes, and then like, oh, doctor.
Well, this wasn't like a doctor's appointment thing. This was like I knew what was
But I
wrong
mean,
with me.
even
I
then,
had the
it's
tools
like,
to fix it.
If you have the right health care, you can just get medicine. It's like, oh, here's your prescription. Have a nice day. Like, oh, thank you. And
Who's gonna feed me, Shua? Who's gonna feed me in Canada?
You got a good point.
Justin
Got a good
Trudeau.
point.
Good point. Santa Claus.
Our hot prime minister will spoon feed you, and that's
I want
his
him to be my
promise.
Santa Claus too.
Spoon feed you melted snow.
Yeah,
It'll work out.
yeah.
You
know it.
like snow so much. Here it is.
Pat, you got anything?
Yes, absolutely. 2 things. Number 1, I can't wait to see the stretch goals delivered upon. I can't wait to see Dan and Shelley both get their tattoos. That's going to be very exciting.
Mhm.
I'd also like to make it very clear here that both the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus do exist. So don't worry, kids. Absolutely. They
What about the
exist.
Tooth Fairy?
Oh, no, she can go to hell. But, I mean, the other 2, totally.
Wow.
One
excited.
time I was like on Neopets, right? And they had this
I'm
weird
just kidding,
Santa
Tooth Fairy.
Claus thing
Please don't
going
avoid
on.
me.
You and your fucking Neopets.
Aw.
So I actually have something. So, although we don't have everybody's perspective from the stream, I was able to find my footage. The entirety of what I recorded is on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description. You can go check it out if you miss a stream, if you want to watch anything. I'm also in the process of editing together some highlights so that you can... Basically, we're just cutting out the fluff. I just edited the part where I get my arm waxed, and it should be going up on the channel probably tomorrow. I laughed through it. I mean, watching myself cry as much as I did, I was like, man, you're a wuss. Because it wasn't that.
That's what I was
it wasn't
trying to
really
tell you the
that.
whole time.
It wasn't really that bad, like in retrospect. But like, so I don't know. I don't know how quickly I'll be able to edit them and get them up, but I'll be throwing up highlights on the Why Did Ask For channel as I get them out. If anybody else has any footage that they want me to put up or edit together or whatever, I can do that too. But yeah, keep an eye out on the YouTube channel, the Why Did Ask For YouTube channel. So the highlights will be going up there.
Very cool. I like it.
I think that's all I had. So
May or may
I guess
not have recorded a secret podcast during that stream. Then maybe we can set an incentive that if we reach, I'll release.
I was gonna say it wasn't very a podcast. It wasn't podcast.
it was. It started off as a podcast and quickly got derailed.
And just
Yeah.
because
I
we
think-
had 10 people in there.
Also,
It was-
but I think there was probably about 10 or 15 minutes of Shua, honey. Shua, you remember we talked about this.
And then I would be like, no, I'm gonna.
It's for the kids. Just one more shot. Come on, donate.
I think that, but we'll release that if you tell your friends about the Why Did Ask For podcast and we get a few more subscribers. Maybe we can negotiate that.
That was the other thing that I wanted to bring up. In regards to my tattoo, it will get done. I will follow through with it, but I don't know when I'll follow through with it because it comes down to money, and I don't have a real job right now. So when it happens, I'll try and Periscope it or whatever. But it's going to happen. I'm committed to it. It's just a matter of funding right now.
Just sell Fuzz Snow. I mean, that's all you have to do. They'll keep buying it because every time it gets there, it'll be not.
Apparently,
snow,
all you have
so-
to be is be a Santa
It's
snow
the
stripper.
perfect scam.
That's true. It'll work out well. So, all right. So I want to thank everybody for listening, for joining us today, for joining us for the stream. Big shout out to all the members of the Dark Brotherhood who helped us out with the stream, who help us out every day with all the content that we do. Thanks to Fuzz for showing up sick and
Yes.
rocking it. And yeah, so I guess that's it. So thanks everybody for joining us today, and hopefully we made you ask, why did ask for?
And remember
Why
some
didn't-
Fuzz Santa strippers.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring ting
That's
tingling.
Sing that to her, she'll get.